warning, the holiday season is an emotional tsunami. And as you can imagine, this topic is getting brought up because we are well into December and many of us are celebrating the holidays this month. We have two huge holidays, Christmas and Hanukkah. I believe Hanukkah starts on the same day as Christmas, coming up next week. And I want to talk about what that shows us, the holidays, about ourselves as women. The holidays shows us our emotional instability. It exasperates us. It's our emotional state. Like, think of the holidays as a window into our emotional state as women. We are running through the new year. We are powering through. We're trying to be the holiday creators for the family, buying people presents, running around saying yes, making too many commitments, worried about the food, worried about the gatherings. We are one huge tsunami, not just a ball of stress, a tsunami of stress and emotional overwhelm during this time. Now, this is incredibly important for you having an autoimmune disease or a chronic illness out there, that this is a time that emotional turmoil gets heightened, and you're going to find you're going to have more flare-ups. I see much more flare-ups in individuals that I work with and people that I know with autoimmune disease and chronic illness. And just as a woman in general, I'm healthy now. I don't have my diseases anymore. I've completely healed. But I found myself early this week feeling sad and feeling depressed as it was inching towards the holidays. Here's why it's a good thing that I was able to pick up on this, because as women, underneath all of the kind of chaos and the go, 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 we have this feeling during the holidays of sadness, of depression, but we can't even pick up on it because we're going so fast. So we have to think about what do we do about this? Because as women, this is the problem. It's our emotional state, and it's not getting solved by the foods and by the diets and the supplements and the cleanses and the medications. None of that is scratching the surface of this emotional overwhelm and our suppressed emotional state, as I talked about today, not only perpetuates your disease, but is the very reason you got it in the first place. And again, super heightened during the holidays. Well, women, this emotional tornado that lives inside of us, we first have to acknowledge that it's there in the first place. We have to slow down and acknowledge it. I couldn't heal until I finally slowed down and was aware of this storm, emotional storm that was going on inside of me all the time. That's why I'm doing this video now, because now is the best time for you as a woman to be able to see very clearly that heightened emotional state that lives under your skin, that most of us do a better job of hiding those other 11 months out of the year. But come the holiday season, it's like we can't, I know for me, it's like I couldn't hold it together any longer, and it just bursts out of us, that emotional overwhelm. So we need to slow down and we need to identify it. And during this time of the holidays, my biggest suggestion is A, slow down, but B, simplify your holiday season. That's right. Simplify is a word that almost doesn't live in the vocabulary of us women, but we need to simplify. And I want you to know that you have that choice. So what does it look like to simplify your life and slow down? Again, to support resolving that emotional overwhelm, what does that look like? It looks like saying no, right? It looks like saying no to the things, because oftentimes we say yes to everything during this season. So it's saying no. It's not overcommitting, taking on everything. It is giving yourself permission to retire from being that holiday orchestrator of your family, from retiring from being the sole Santa Claus or the sole present buyer, the sole person who cooks all of the food and cleans it all up and wraps every present. Retire from that, ladies. We have that choice. Again, it's that heightened Christmas state that exasperates the overwhelm, exasperates the autoimmune diseases and chronic illnesses. And also, I want to propose another choice too, to know that we all have a choice in what we do, and to ask yourself, to lovingly ask yourself, what do you really want to do during this holiday season? Not what you think you should do, not what you're supposed to do, not what you do because it's always been the tradition and you just do it without thinking on autopilot, but to slow down with love and to ask yourself, what do you really want? What do you really want for this holiday season? For me as a woman, that's a profound question that I didn't even know I had the choice to ask myself that. What do you want it to look like? I realized, I can't believe I'm saying this, I'm not a Christmas tree person in my home. So I had to slow down and ask myself, what did I want in terms of decorating this year? I don't have a Christmas tree. I don't have lights up. I love holiday music, but the tree isn't as important to me where it might be to somebody else. Maybe you're someone who loves the outdoors and you want to go outside for a walk, or, a sleigh ride, or I like to cross-country ski, spend some time out in nature. Is there a certain dish that you really would enjoy? Not ones you think you have to make, but what would really warm your heart during this time? We have the permission to ask ourselves that, and the permission also to give that to ourselves. And so what I really want you to take away from today, again, what we're talking about today is warning. The holiday season is an emotional tsunami. We talked all about the emotional overwhelm we live in as women all of the time. And that emotional overwhelm is what created your autoimmune disease. It's what's perpetuating it. And the holiday season is the perfect window into that which we live with all of the time in terms of our emotional state. And what I want you to take away is, number one, to have the awareness that that's happening. Many of us take what I call the happy pill. It's not a real pill, but it's a way that we suppress how we're really feeling and pretend that everything's great and fine and nope, nothing to see here. So if we cannot do that, we can have the awareness of what's really going on under the skin, which again created the autoimmune disease and chronic illness. So that's number one, is awareness. Number two is knowing we have a choice. We have a choice in managing our emotional state. Again, it's something we've never been taught as women. For me, it always felt like that emotional state was like an engine. Once it turned on, it would go on and it would continue to rev up, and I felt like I had no control over it. So we want to know we do have a choice. We do have control over our emotional state. And then number three, like I shared, this is critical information for those with autoimmune disease and chronic illness, because it's that heightened emotional state that's created your disease. So we have to learn. We need to learn how to be in control of it. First, to know we have that choice, and then we need to learn how. We have to learn how. And when we slow down, again, step one is slowing way down. That's what I had to do to catch that depression and anxiety I was feeling this week and sadness over the loss of the magic of the holidays for me. When we slow down, we can realize that we can be in control of our emotional state, that it is a choice, and it's a choice that we never knew we had. And it is that very choice, first starting by slowing down, and then being in control of your emotional state. It's that choice that's the first step of finally healing.